Yo, what's going on? Jan Moses here from Broth Cindy, bringing you another episode of the Blueprint series. I've only recorded one of these episodes before when I got Gary Payton. Again, just to give you a brief rundown of the purpose of this kind of video. It's basically just supposed to kind of be like a journal entry where I'll talk about something that I find to be relevant in my team in the moment when it happens. Because as you may know, the few of you that do watch this channel, I do a podcast with Harry that we usually record at the end of every season that serves as a season recap and season preview for the prior and upcoming seasons, respectively. Now, before we get into this video, it is January the 1st, 2022. So if you are watching this video, especially, I want to wish you a happy new year. Still is kind of bizarre to me that I'm playing my team here in 2022, but here we are. Let's get right to it. You can see it on the screen. We just hit level 40 with just about 2 weeks to go until season 4. And it's getting easier to get to level 40 every season, I feel like. The Carmelo grind was the most difficult, even though I got KG later in season 2 than I got Melo in season 1, but I actively grinded for Carmelo Anthony. KG, I neglected a lot of the agendas for XP throughout the entirety of season 2, and then kind of grinded a little bit for the final, 5 days or so, and I was able to get KG with a few days to spare. Allen Iverson was super easy for me to get, or I should say level 40 was super easy for me to get because, as I just mentioned, the aforementioned Allen Iverson is the reward for level 40, as everybody knows. I didn't have to really rent anybody for this Allen Iverson. I mean, I don't think I really used any more than 1 or 2 pink diamond players for the AI. Now, I did get one Galaxy Opal player, and that's because it's not a player that I rented. It's a player that I added to my team, which I will show you shortly. But besides that Galaxy Opal and the 2 pink diamonds that I rented because of like a mini market crash that we got due to a locker code that we got during the, I think, Christmas Day part of the Hoopmas promo, I only used diamond players and lower. And I got this Allen Iverson again with 13 days to spare, which is great. But I don't think there's any other way I could really start this video than me opening up this pack for Allen Iverson. And, you know, the few of you that do know me as someone that's played my team since it first came out in 2K13. And, you know, back then, my favorite MyTeam YouTuber is Chris Smoove. And I'll forever say is and never was because, I mean, A, he still uploads videos, just not really my team anymore. But Chris Smoove is, in my opinion, and he forever will be, the godfather of my team content. He's the guy that I really feel like put my team on the map. And I only think it's fitting that in opening this pack, I pay respect to the godfather of my team by playing a little clip from when he got AI back in my team, the very first my team ever, NBA 2K13.
Yo, I'm hyped right now. Hey, what you know about the Matrix? Well, I'm like Neo. This isn't a commentary, it's Chris Smoove Vivo. Somehow I got 1 million people to subscribe. I just want to know if that's legal. The choir gets you hyped every time. Don't hate, stop lying. Stop lying. Allen Iverson. The choir has never been this hype. I don't even have to direct him. I think I'm gonna go eat some mangoes to celebrate.
So yeah, one of my favorite Chris Smoove videos of all time when he packs Allen Iverson shortly after hitting 1 million subs on YouTube. Figured why not a little throwback from my favorite years of my team to celebrate me getting the season 3 reward Galaxy Opal Allen Iverson, who, to my surprise, when he was basically available for the people that have been nonstop sweating out season three's agenda grinding, um, a lot of the popular 2K content creators, namely Ty Debo, actually gave this AI some props. You know, I mean, a 6 foot point guard is never really going to be appealing. At the beginning of the game, when Mismatch Expert was really, really popular and wasn't nerfed, short point guards were the move. Chris Paul was viable when he came out as a diamond primetime player. But I believe they nerfed the Mismatch Expert badge. And I mean, right now, you won't find me in an online game mode, basically, unless I'm messing around with my lineups, without Pink Diamond Gary Payton. You know, a 6'4 point guard with whatever he has, a 6'7 or a 6'9 wingspan. I just love having that height and that length on my team. But this Allen Iverson got some major props from Ty Debo, all things considered, when it comes to this Allen Iverson. I think you can't come into my team, especially given the way gameplay has been over the last few years, and expect to get Allen Iverson, especially for me as a casual player. And I can't expect to take him online and dominate with him. He's going to have some issues, especially defensively. I'm going to assume that offensively he's going to struggle in terms of finishing around the rim, but I'm going to definitely take him into clutch time and TT online in the coming days to give him a shot. I'm really excited to have him in a way. I didn't really, again, actively grind for him. I did do XP grinding to an extent this season, much more than I did last season, because I was more interested in the AI than the KG when I saw how bad the Kevin Garnett release was. But, it's fun to grind out the XP every once in a while, if you don't absolutely sweat it out and you kind of do it at your own pace. Like, I want to get to 750 wins for TT Offline, not necessarily because I want Cliff Robinson, but because I want to be up to date with each season's final TT Offline reward, because when the next season rolls around, they usually give us a new objective in TT Offline. And while doing that, I can grind out XP using players from each respective promo. So it made sense to me. And just doing that casually made it really easy for me to get AI. I'm going to put AI right now at the backup point guard spot. I can't bench Gary. Not right now. He's just too good. I still think he's a top 2 or 3 point guard in this game. He's just so damn good. I love him so much. Gary's just incredible. I did mention earlier that I got a Galaxy Opal. You can see who it is right here. I got LeBron on Thursday in anticipation of the players that we were going to get on Friday. I managed to get LeBron for the price that I have been wanting to get him at, which was, my max was 515 or 5. Last year was 530K. I got this one for about 513,000, and this one came with 2 additional Hall of Fame badges, one being Clutch Shooter, which is whatever, the other being Menace, which is one of my favorite badges on defense. I know, Hall of Fame Interceptor and Clamps are the better badges to have on defense, but I just love Menace. I feel like Gary Payton and Glitch Trae Young, 2 of the point guards in this game that have Hall of Fame Menace that I've used, have played so much differently for me on defense than any other point guard that I've used. And while I'm not actively looking at how LeBron is playing for me whenever I'm playing defense, he just harasses everybody. He's so big in the game too. Just a really fun card to use. I believe the guy who sold this card also gave him gold limitless spot up, I believe. Yeah, gold limitless spot up and blinders. I think blinders. I think silver. Yeah, silver blinder. So not bad. He's a pretty good card. I've really enjoyed using him. I'd like to use him at the power forward spot, but right now, if you look at my team, I'm kind of weak at the Center spot, actually, I think the center spot is my biggest weakness. It's more than I'm kind of weak. I'm very weak at the center spot. And I would really like to have another small forward. Excuse me. Because I'd like to put LeBron at the 4 and then have another small forward. I'd honestly like to put Melo at the 4 too. But right now I love Dolph Shays and Draymond, he is really good. We do have a new power forward that I would like to throw in there for the time being, and that is Scotty Barnes, who I evoed en route to hitting 150k XP. Really, really love what they've done with the Evos. I'll talk about that a little bit later on in this video. But let's just go ahead now, even though I'm not playing Unlimited, just for posterity's sake, we're going to replace Draymond Green for now with this Scotty Barnes, who is right here. He's just a menace. I love his release quite a bit. May as well just show off this Joe Caldwell, who I sniped to as a holo. Look at how clean that card looks as a holo, man. Oh, it's beautiful. Just absolutely beautiful. I bought him initially to Evo him and flip him like I've done with another Joe Caldwell, but it being hollow and it looking so clean as a diamond, I told myself if it looked really nice as a pink diamond hollow, I'd keep it, and it looks really nice as a pink hollow diamond, so I'm keeping it. But yes, as I mentioned, the center position right now, I think in my team as a whole, not just in my lineup, is a problem area. We just got a pink diamond Shaq, and that Shaq is a really good card. I played against him in Limited this weekend, and he was causing a lot of issues for my Ruby centers that I brought in, James Wiseman and Mo Bamba. However, as the game wore on and Shaq's stamina depleted, my opponent just ran a 5-man lineup. It became easier to contest that Shaq, and again, with the way the 2K gameplay is nowadays, it really doesn't reward you for having a bigger, more of a bruiser center like a Shaq who can't shoot it all, because I obviously off-balled in that particular game a decent amount because my opponent was really good with his dribbles, and I am just not as good of an on-ball defender as I used to be. Maybe if I worked at it, I'd be better, and I do on-ball at times, but especially in games where I play against an opponent with a center that cannot shoot, I just think I'm doing myself a disservice and putting myself at a disadvantage if I don't off-ball more often than I on-ball. And so because of that, that Shaq really was not a problem. But besides Shaq, we really don't have any centers that are coming for David Robinson's throne. And that is a significant issue because D-Rob has been in this game since November the 5th. Now, today, again, is January 1st. And I think it's a problem that, this D-Rob, almost 2 months since it entering my team, is still going, in this case, no added badges, no diamond contract, no diamond shoe. He's going for over 100K. And it's great to see this card retain its value. I mean, I think one of the only cards that I think really has retained its value better than D-Rob since coming out over 2 months ago has been Diamond Klay Thompson, who I still think is one of the best two guards in this game. And the only reason why he's on the bench and what's his face, Dr. J, Julius Irving, is starting is because as of right now, my backup point guard is Allen Iverson, and before that it was Damian Lillard, and those are two guards that really need help on defense, and I trust Klay Thompson on defense a little bit more than I trust Dr. J, just because he has Hoff clamps. That's all it comes down to. But this D-Rob, like that Klay Thompson, has really maintained its value. And looking at last year's MyTeam, I saw that they had, I believe, an Idols promo that came out, I think, on the day of Chinese New Year, which was February 12th last year. And in that program, they got Yao Ming. Chinese New Year this year falls on February the 12th, which is, 6 weeks away? There is no way we don't get another center that rivals D-Rob and brings his price down before then. I would be shocked if we don't get another center, even if it's not Yao Ming, because I still feel like Yao Ming is a safe bet to come out either on or before February the 12th of this year. We have to get another center that's going to challenge this David Robinson. He's a really good center, and I've been wanting to add him to my team, but I kind of wanted to wait until he became a buy now because I wanted to see what Opal centers we would get. And to me, it's still kind of mind-blowing that D-Rob is going for over 100K. And it's not as much that I'm shocked at him being this expensive as I'm shocked that we haven't really gotten anyone to challenge him at that price, which is quite unfortunate. But that's basically my lineup. Just wanted to quickly touch on that really quickly, even though I'm mainly only playing Clutch Time and TTO and limited when it comes to my online game modes. Now, again, this is a Blueprint series episode, and the purpose of this series is for me to touch on relevant topics in the moment and not just wait until the podcast with Harry to talk about them. And there is a lot to touch on when it comes to Season 3, and I want to save a lot of that for the podcast, but Hoopmas just came to an end yesterday, and because of that, I would like to talk about that holiday event because I think the majority of the MyTeam community was really looking forward to seeing what we were going to get for the holidays, given apparently how good of a job they did last year. I was not a part of the community last year, but I've obviously seen the videos of the event that they gave. It was kind of similar to what we got for the Thanksgiving festival that we had this year, but it just seemed like a more juiced version of that with better locker codes, better events overall, etc. And what we got instead this year was a program where the only thing you could really engage with on a day-to-day basis were these Hoopmas packs that you got for logging in daily, and you would get basically either a gold contract, a gold badge, a gold shoe boost, a candy cane, or a present exchange. And that really, really sucks. I'm not a fan of RNG rewards in general, and that's one of the themes of MyTeam this year, the RNG rewards. Not really having any control over what you're going to get and having the entire program basically revolve around you logging in, opening your pack, and then logging off. They really didn't give anyone any reason to stay in MyTeam after opening up that pack. I mean, if you weren't grinding for AI, if you already had Damian Lillard and you had no interest in quote unquote grinding for Michael Redd, because can you even call playing games for an RNG reward a grind when you're not guaranteed that reward? I don't know. I guess that's kind of up for discussion. But if you don't have those certain things to do in the game, then unless you're enjoying playing online like I am, why play? And that's really, really unfortunate because, I come from MyTeam initially, but after leaving MyTeam in 2K17, I played Madden for 3 years. And the one thing that Mutt always did really, really well, especially compared to 2K, was they knocked their holiday promos out of the park. It's no secret that Mutt does an incredible job, usually with all of their headliner promos. Most Feared, the Harvest promo, or whatever they call their Thanksgiving promo nowadays. Zero Chill, or the Mutt Freeze, whatever they call the holiday promo. They do a great job with all those promos. I mean, the Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas promos in Mutt were always some of my favorite promos of the year, including the Blitz promo, which is my favorite promo if you're a money spender in Mutt. But they just give you a lot to engage with. And I mean, in Mutt, I haven't really looked at Mutt as much this year as I did last year when I wasn't playing. But I know they have presents. I know they have like a variety of presents. They had the re-rolls, which I believe you could use like snowflakes or whatever alternate currency they had in the game. They just find ways to keep the community engaged. And I mean, if you're a pack addict, you would love to do those re-rolls because you have a chance to basically get more out of it than what you put into it, and then you can just keep re-rolling it over and over. And even if the house ultimately wins on those re-rolls, at least you'll have fun, and you can snipe and you can play the game to make your currency back to then re-engage in those re-rolls. There is just a variety of avenues that you could traverse in Mutt that we just don't have in MyTeam, where, again, for Hoopmas, you're logging in, you're opening your pack, You're more than likely going to be disappointed when you get a candy cane or a badge or a contract instead of getting your present, which the present was nice after or only after the first time because you got a Hall of Fame badge pack that was not a repeatable pack that you could exchange a present for. But after that, you had diamond consumables, and then I believe you had this 6 series pack, which is not even a deluxe. So you could, put in a present exchange and go and enjoy your Emerald Carmelo Anthony card. And that's really it, and I will say that I do like to an extent what they did putting John Wall on the TT offline vault, putting, I believe I can't show it here, but Joel Embiid is on the wheel along with Petrovic. And then in, TT Online, you have Paul George and Glitch Trae Young, which is not bad at all. Again, the problem with all of these rewards is that they're RNG. There's no guarantee, which really sucks. It would be nice if they put out a win goal like they did with the end of season 2 or the end of season 1. With the Vucevic, Steve Francis, Bobby Jones, Amethyst Mike Conley that we got for playing the various game modes and having whatever it was, 5 wins I think in each of those online game modes in a row, and then 10 wins in a row in TT offline. In season 2, and then in season 1 it was just win 5 unlimited games I think in total to get the James Harden. It would have been nice if they gave us maybe a higher win total to get the Paul George. Maybe if they were like, I don't know, win 20 games, win 30 games of TT Online, not in a row, but just win 30 games. This is a 2-week event. Maybe make it 50 games for TT Online because the TT Online games are really fast. I don't know. The point is, make it so that a set number of wins leads to the reward. It gives the community something to grind towards, and they'll have faith that they'll be rewarded in the long run if they want that player for playing this game mode an X amount of times. So that would have been nice, but at least the vault opened more, apparently, even though I've not gotten any of the Pink Diamond rewards. They've opened more for the majority of the community over these last 2 weeks than they have in prior weekends when we've had players like Flash Anthony Davis, Dunktober Vince Carter, the unsigned Pink Diamond Steph Curry, and the David Robinson that were in the TT Online and TT Offline board and vault, respectively. I didn't see any people get any of those cards when they were out in TT Offline and TT Online, whether it be on YouTube, on Twitter, or on Reddit. But I've seen a fair number of people get these players. My boy Deuce has got John Wall from playing TT Offline, which is fantastic. So I'm glad that at least people are getting more rewarded than they were in the past, but still, RNG sucks. Not knowing when you're going to get one of these players or if you're ever going to get one of these players is absolutely brutal. It just sucks that it feels like, for 2K, for their devs, they feel like a way to breathe life into these game modes is to give us RNG rewards. Instead of giving us other ways to add replayability and breathe life into these game modes. I mean, I mentioned, I believe in the podcast I did with Harry, or maybe it was just in a side conversation I had with Harry. It would have been really nice if after you get Dame Lillard for completing tier 5, if tier 6 was a repeatable tier and going and winning 10 games without losing 3 in a row in tier 6 netted you something like 10 KMT. 15 KMT, something that you can play the game over and over again, and on the road to hopefully getting an RNG reward in Michael Red, you're guaranteed to get 10 KMT at the end of every tier 6 run. Super simple reward. I don't think 10K MT is really that big of a deal, but if they want to make it lesser, sure, whatever. Just give us something, because right now we're just banking on a wheel spin where the results are predetermined every single time. Like the people that I've seen on Reddit or on Twitter being like, oh, if you press the X button or the A button when the spinner hits this letter on the word spin, you're going to get Michael Red. Like, that's mad cute, bro, but that's not how it works. It's predetermined before you press X or A on the wheel spin, and that sucks. Give us more of a reason to play it because the majority of this community doesn't play the game out of enjoyment of playing the game. I'm mostly playing Clutch Time right now because I enjoy playing Clutch Time. I've been saying for the longest time I want a 5v5 game mode that's a little more casual than Unlimited, because Unlimited is an absolute sweat fest. And that was before I knew about the skill-based matchmaking being a thing. Now that that is a thing for me, I don't even touch Unlimited. Literally, I played one game of Unlimited because that was like a daily agenda or a weekend warrior agenda, and I'm 0-1. And that was like weeks ago, but still. Um, Now, did I try my ass off? No, but I feel like even if I did, I would have lost that game because my opponent was an absolute sweat god. Like, and that's totally fine. If that's how you want to play the game that way. But I will say that, my clutch time record is relatively decent. I think 130 wins and 21 losses. And what's nice is I would say maybe 70% of my losses have come to people that I felt like were genuinely better than me, but the other 30% were against people that I knew if I played them again, or if I played them 10 games in a row, I would beat them more often than they would beat me. But because like a couple of plays didn't go my way, I ended up losing, and that's what I kind of like about clutch time. It gives players who maybe aren't necessarily better than other players a chance to win. And that goes in my benefit too, because I'm a more casual MyTeam player. And while I do try hard to win in my games, I'm not nearly as good as I used to be. And I just think the 2K community as a whole has gotten much better. I think the community has become more towards comp than casual. And for that reason, it's great to play a game mode in clutch time that is not revolving around skill-based matchmaking and is just a more casual environment because it's 1 quarter and not 4. The time investment's not there. It would just be nice if in game modes like clutch time and TTO and TT offline, although TT offline does give us Cliff Robinson and we know what we're going to get. What we're going to get along the way. It's just good to know what you're going to get, I guess, versus clutch time and TT online where you have no guarantee of getting any of the pink diamond rewards. At all, which is quite unfortunate. Now, I do kind of want to end on a positive note. I don't want to be all negative here as we wrap up this episode, which, holy cow, is going to be almost 30 minutes. I'm really sorry. This, I guess we can call it yesterday. I was going to say this weekend. But yesterday, for New Year's, we got this New Year's resolution program, which featured 14 Evo cards, which is pretty dope. Obviously, the Evo concept is a fun concept. We haven't really gotten many Evos, that I can think of since Season 1 when we had every single player you got as a domination reward needing to be Evo'd to get the final reward, which I believe was Bob Pettit or something like that. But these cards, initially when they came out, looked fine, but their animations really sucked. Like this Scotty Barnes, I believe, had a really crappy release. I believe it's whatever the Hito Turkoglu has now, and I think that's why Hito isn't really being used as much this year because that release is not great. And I think Buddy Hield didn't have great defensive badges, and the Luka Doncic, because again, none of these Evo cards, as many of you guys know, you can't add badges to them. So when we see these cards and we see what they get Evo'd, that's basically the final rendition of that card. You cannot improve on in any way badge-wise. Luka Doncic had bronze clamps even when Evo'd, which was an absolute disaster. But 2K went ahead and changed this Luka Doncic so that by Evoing him, you get him to have, we can actually look right here because this one is Evo'd. He comes with Hall of Fame clamps, which you can see right there. 15 Hall of Fame badges compared to 14, and that one different badge is clamps. So it was really nice to see them do that. They also improved on the Buddy Hield, which, by the way, mine's also hollow, which is why I've not sold them. Just absolutely beautiful. The hollow players in this set, the card art is just phenomenal. I don't know if we're going to be able to see Buddy Hield scrolling up this way. If not, I will quickly go into the auction house just to show you what he looks like. And that Buddy Hield, by the way, his Evo is very, very difficult to do. I am not going to try it. I tried only one game in TT offline with him trying to get steals, and that was a miserable, miserable experience. Is this one going to end at 20K? That's incredible. This card is actually a really good card. He's, in terms of a Diamond 2 guard, the most fun I've had using a Diamond 2 guard or any 2 guard since Klay Thompson. And I say that because Dr. J for me is a 3, so I'm not throwing any shade at the doctor's way. But this Buddy Hield, if I compare him to my Amethyst Buddy Hield, you can see the difference with the defensive badges. None for my Buddy Hield versus the Diamond one when he's Evo'd. That comes with Pickpocket, Pick Dodger, ankle braces, and Hall of Fame clamps, which makes this card a very good 2-guard, on top of him having an incredible release and great SIGs. So, shout out to 2K for changing these players. I'm not sure what pushed them over the edge. I don't know if it was everyone going on YouTube and just relentlessly crapping all over how bad these players were. And while I know a lot of the people that wanted better top-end players, I guess, from this set were kind of disappointed because Zion can't play small forward and Luka can't play point guard, that overall, I think, really saved the set. And for me, it kind of got me a little excited because, I've been working the market more in the last couple of seasons, especially this season, than I had in season 1. And I took advantage of Buddy Hield becoming the most popular player in this set very rapidly. And, at first I sold a couple of players when I bought them, and Kyle Kuzma and Buddy Hield for a ton of MT. And then you can see Buddy Hield immediately settled for basically around 7,500 to 8,500 MT. I sold a couple of hollow buddies that I sniped for 13.5 and 15K. But I bought a lot of Buddy Hields. I also bought another Joe Caldwell besides the hollow one that I have. Bought him for like 12K or 11K. Evo'd him really quickly, and I posted him for 35,950. And if I go into the auction house right now, what you'll see is Joe Caldwell, I believe, if you Evo him, is, I think, 10K cheaper than what I sold him for last night. You can see he's expiring at 32, expiring at 26. Let's go down to like 25 or something like that, and we'll see what he's going for now. I mean, there's a bunch of... So he's under 20K. Which basically makes this Evo no longer profitable. But at the time, I made basically 20K MT profit, which I'm very, very happy about. So let's go ahead and redeem this this MT. I just want to keep track of how much MT I end up making in profit. So 697. 961. And you can also see I have a few diamond contracts. We got a diamond consumable locker code, I believe, on Christmas Day. Then we got another one today, and that led to more diamond contracts coming into the market. I've invested right now, I believe, in like 15 or so of them. I have 15 diamond contracts right now that I basically got from anywhere between 500 MT, which I got a snipe, and 12K MT. And I'm going to be looking to flip them when they go up above 16K. So this will hopefully be another, I don't know, after tax, maybe 140, 150K, maybe even a little more MT profit. I cannot do math right now. No, it'll be more. Probably, I think anywhere from like 175K to 180K MT profit, more than likely, if I sell them all for like 16K or so, which is pretty good. That'll definitely put me over $1 million once I redeem all of these players, which I will do right now, because I just want to see if I'm going to be up over $1 million after spending 500K plus on LeBron James. But that's basically all I have for you. I'm curious to see how they're going to end Season 3. I'm hopeful that we're going to get something like we got at the end of Season 2, where they give us an agenda to get guaranteed reward players from playing their game modes. Not have them be RNG based, but just have them as like a target of like, if you get 5 games, 1 in Unlimited or Limited or TT Online or TT Offline, you're going to get this player. That'll be really, really nice to see from them. Am I hopeful? Yes. Do I believe it'll happen? Yes, because I don't think that's really asking for too much. But we'll have to see if we actually end up getting anything in that regard. I wonder when we're going to get the Opal market. You can see I'm sitting on 1,645 tokens. And while I could go ahead and do a bunch of those silver badge packs, I'm going to be just under. That is so depressing. I am so close to 1 million MT. Dude, I'm depressed. That really sucks. I'm about to, you know what? We're doing it. I need to have it. Sorry. I hope that Willis Reed doesn't go for anything crazy. I doubt he does. But there, we're at 1,000,000 MT, so I'm happy about that. Curious to see when they're going to open up the Opal market because I have a diaper load of tokens and I want to get rid of them. And I'm really hopeful that we get Spotlight Sims for the start of Season 4 because I know the offline grinders are not really having any reason to play this game right now. I talked to one of them. That's my friend Deuces, and he has no motivation really to play this game. I don't really blame him. There's really nothing to do if you don't genuinely enjoy playing this game because the rewards are atrocious across the board. The only potentially good rewards are locked behind RNG, which really don't make them a reward. It's just kind of like it's nice if I get it, but when I don't, it is what it is kind of situation, which sucks. So hopefully Spotlight Sims will come in and be a bright light at the end of this very dim tunnel, which is the offline content for offline grinders in MyTeam. Anyways, that's the episode. Sorry it was kind of long, but there was a lot that I wanted to go through, and there will still be a lot more to discuss in the podcast that I will record with Harry. That'll probably come in a couple of weeks when the season ends. You can see right here we have, again, we'll just call it 13 days until the end of Season 3, which I believe means that Season 4 will be starting on January the 14th. So we'll have to see what happens then. Maybe that'll be when we get to vote on the NBA 75th Anniversary Collection rewards, because those are all going to be Galaxy Opal players, obviously. And it'll be very interesting to see how the market reacts to those players. And that'll be something that we can talk about on the podcast, but as of right now, that's all I got for you. So if you listen to any part of this or this whole thing, I really appreciate you. Once again, have a happy new year, and looking forward to uploading more of these videos, hopefully, in the coming weeks. So thanks again. Hope you enjoyed. And until next time, this is Jan Moses, signing out.